Oracle Logistics Platform consists of three main components. Transportation management to help plan and execute the physical movement of goods in a supply chain. Oracle Warehouse Management, which helps manage the receiving and distribution of goods within a given facility, such as a distribution center or manufacturing site. And Oracle Global Trade Management, which helps with all of the cross-border activities. We help enterprises plan and execute billions of dollars and millions of shipments around the world every year. When we think about the transportation industry, we often think of these big companies and brands with thousands of trucks. But the reality is most trucks are owned by companies with 5 or fewer vehicles. They often lack the tools and the connections to work with some of the bigger enterprises. And so that's really what's been changing over these last few years. In the traditional model, manufacturers, distributors, retailers, large enterprises will negotiate long-term contracts, typically for 1 year, with big trucking companies or ocean carriers or air freight companies to move those goods. But what we have seen as of late is there is so much uncertainty and dynamic changes in the actual amount that needs to be shipped. That there's been a real need to manage those surges in demand and to move away from this traditional static 1-year plan, because those plans often just don't come to fruition. We have two big problems we need to solve as an industry. One is the sustainability angle, and the other is there's just simply not enough people to operate the trucks. The pandemic has had huge disruption on many businesses and on supply chains, and it's really demonstrated the value of having the right technology at the right time.
We've seen extreme shocks to the supply chain. One, demand, right out of the gate there was a spike in demand, then it dropped, and then it's been steadily rising, and we've seen consumption retain at levels 20% over year. And so that's creating extreme demand. At the same time, drivers left the market. We've seen a couple things happen on the shipper and the carrier side. So one, carriers are making a lot more money. There's been a wave of new drivers coming into the market. On the shipper side, they're just looking for answers. And so they've been looking for better tech, better solutions, better real-time information. Just a high friction, high touch industry. And there was no provider where you could just use an app, hit a button and book a load. Uber Freight and Oracle started working together because we started the conversation when we were initially piloting our pricing API, and we were able to work with Oracle to make that an integrated feature within Oracle OTM. And this has been a critical tool for shippers because beforehand, they never had the ability to get a truckload price in real time that had guaranteed capacity behind it. Sounds like a simple thing, didn't exist in the market before. So Oracle being a technology leader, having a massive install base with OTM, many of our customers were asking us for this capability within their Oracle instances.
What Uber Freight brings is a gateway or a way for those enterprises to connect into all of those mom and pop drivers, all of those smaller trucking companies who are out there looking to do work and provide high quality service, but lack a platform to work electronically, digitally with those enterprises. So Uber Freight provides the capacity on one hand, Oracle provides the means to connect into the enterprises that have the goods to move. The real cool part of the technology of the solution that we have with Uber Freight is the fact that our transportation users, our transportation product users, without leaving our transportation product, can access in real time both capacity and pricing availability from the Uber Freight platform.
We tend to target the small carriers, so the owner-operators and fewer than 10 trucks. Those carriers historically have had the worst experience in the market. If they want to work with Uber today, they can log on, get signed up without ever having to make a phone call. As a result, we've had huge success bringing more and more carriers onto the platform. There are many different cohorts of carriers across the marketplace. There's a large Punjab community, there's a large Polish community, there's a large Hispanic community of drivers. We tend to bias younger, so we tend to get the more tech-savvy, maybe digitally native drivers, and we've definitely had success with that population. But we also get high representation with driver populations who before just may not have had a good experience for whatever reason with the traditional brokerage model. We were first to market with facility ratings where we let drivers enter reviews on facilities, and that has resulted in direct improvements to facilities by customers or shippers.
Sustainability and transportation efficiency go hand in hand. We help companies be more efficient in how they plan those routes, to optimize those routes so that those vehicles, that space, that capacity, that fuel is used at maximum efficiency, which helps the enterprise in terms of moving their goods, and it helps the environment in terms of minimizing waste and pollution.
We view part of our mission as bringing greater efficiency to the market. We're partnering with OEMs and technology companies that are driving the future, and we've also been piloting clean diesel programs with some of our carriers. As Uber, we just had the large announcement with Hertz and with Tesla, and we are moving fast to get our drivers into electric vehicles. We're very excited that the Transplace acquisition has closed. It brings two amazing companies together. We've been very focused on building out this strong procurement capability, this marketplace, this execution engine. They've been very focused about building out shipper capabilities and really building out tech that embeds itself within the shipper's core operations. On the shipper side, we have a unique set of capabilities in marketplace, in procurement, and execution. And together, it really kind of fills out our portfolio and allows us to bring the best tech and capabilities on both sides of the marketplace.
One of the things I'm most excited about in terms of the partnership is our ability to bring these new capabilities to emerging markets around the world, in Asia, in Europe, in South America, wherever there are goods that need to be shipped. Oracle is already there.
In 10 years from now, I would expect that with Oracle, a shipper can get any rate for any lane instantly. They can integrate that with all their planning systems, right? And it's just a seamless experience in terms of procuring transportation. And on the carrier side, similarly, that they can just log in, have their whole week planned, they know exactly what they're going to make, they know what stops along the way, they can get the cheapest fuel and the cheapest tires, and they have a lot more access to information, a lot more access to freight, and a lot more access to capacity as a shipper. I do think in 10 years from now, you're going to see AVs on the road, you're going to see EVs, and the whole ecosystem is going to shift again.
We've been thrilled to work with Uber Freight because they have been real pioneers in leveraging pricing technologies, consumer-grade user interface technologies to bring a lot of innovation and value to the transportation industry, to enable all these trucking companies to operate at an enterprise level and to enable enterprises to tap into reliable transportation to make their supply chains more functional.